Okay, and we're live. We are back today in Sunless Sea. Typically, we do this on Fridays, but I'm trying a 5-day-a-week schedule, so this will be Tuesdays and Thursdays now. And we'll see if anybody shows up this time. Before, I've basically just been doing it on Fridays, so with a possible exception for a single Wednesday stream. So we'll see if anybody finds me. Okay, last we left off, we had just purchased a better gun for our for our deck weapon. We don't have a forward weapon yet. That gives us, hold on a moment. We have not done that yet. This is our old weapon, isn't it? I think it may be because we did not leave and enter. Yeah, I think we need to reset everything up because our deck's still broken. So I'll fix this here for 100 echo. Or actually, we can call in some favors this time. There we go. We'll go talk to the Admiralty. Let's see if we can still turn in our port reports. Apparently not. How strange. Curious. Well, let's see if we can talk to anybody. No, it doesn't look like we have enough favors. I see. We needed some more favors to be able to go straight to the Admiral. Well, shoot. I'm not sure what has been lost and what has been found here. We still have the Stygian ivory. I think we can sell that on the market here. There we go. We were considering grabbing a crate of human souls for our friend in Mount Palmerston, I believe. Our devilish friend who is so kindly requested either our soul or a lovely gift, and I think it's probably time we give her the gift that she's been requesting. I'm hoping that that'll unlock a little bit more of the lore up there, because we can't currently get into the sort of town hall they have on the volcano peak, which presumably all of the devils and what such are gathering around. Let's go and trade out our gun again. So I think we ended up going for this deck weapon, because all of the other ones are forward weapons, except for this one, and this is hardly an upgrade. This is only 4 more each of hull and life damage. I don't believe we have a forward slot. Yeah, we do not have a forward slot at the moment. So I think that we'll trade back up to our previously desired deck weapon. There it is. We will equip that real fast, and then we shall sell our old weapon for an unfortunately cheap price. I've also done a little research into torpedo nets. They may or may not do anything at all. So they could be completely worthless in terms of mechanics. Somebody said that I needed to deploy them, which I could not see an activation button for the last time we were being torpedoed. And a bit of research that I did indicates that is some conflicting accounts of them being useful and useless all the same. We'll keep it for now, mostly because it's not much of a sale price for the amount of echo we'd get for it. And we're not exactly doing anything else with our extra slot here, the auxiliary slot. So we might as well keep it around. In terms of our resources, these are all correct. I think I need to pick up some more crew. and I'll need to pick up some more fuel and supplies. Fuel I may leave off on because our sea chart here indicates that Mount Palmerston actually sells fuel a little cheaper than here. But supplies I will definitely pick up because that is always more expensive elsewhere. With the possible exception of... Was that the Iron Republic? There's one place that supplies are just slightly cheaper, I believe, that we've stumbled upon, but I can't seem to find it in the chart here. Port Carnelian is where there are 2 echoes cheaper. But since we'll be heading up to Mount Palmerston, we'll stock up on supplies in London here. So I think we'll try to load up. I think we'll load up to... yes, I think that should 9, maybe 10. Yeah, maybe we'll max out here, because after Mount Palmerston, I kind of want to explore the map out in this direction. I know it's a little dangerous, all things considered, but we have gone up and down the bottom area. These black squares should be observed. I'm not sure whether they're actually blacked out. Maybe we'll skirt the upper edge of the Untersee here, because it kind of looks like there are islands up there. But we haven't seen anything quite there just yet. We do have to drop off our passenger in the Cumaean Canal. Might do a short run to that. Well, we'll save that for a return trip. I'm sure we'll return to Fallen London after we've adventured around here. Potentially after our supplies are getting low. Either that or fuel. I want to pick up one more Zailor, but I do not want any more than 7. So 1 or 2 would be fine. But I don't want to pick up any more than that because in that event, we consume supplies at a far greater rate than I'm comfortable with. Oh, actually... Oh, and we need to pick up our gift. The gift for our friend here. A crate of human souls. Okay, that's our hold completely filled up. Let's go see... See, I don't think we have anything for the Roser's Wharf. No, we don't have any Scintillate or Solace Fruit. And we don't have the day ashore. No, we don't have a free evening to spend there either. I think our terror is at an acceptable level, 28. We'll probably get a little bit more in Mount Palmerston depending on whether or not the gift of a human soul unlocks anything a little maddening to us. So I think I will spend a little bit to hire on crew. And I've got plenty of hearts with which to do it. Gain 2 crew. Okay, so that is a perfect amount. That is high enough that if we lose a few people, then we'll be able to continue at full speed, because we did have that issue last time. We were at 4 and we had to half speed all the way back. Oh, we've actually lost some terror for that as well. Your tall tales find a ready audience, scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. Fantastic. So we've got the crew. We still haven't found any way to get our Sphinx Stone up there. We don't have... Let's see. We could talk to our officers. Probably this guy, the mechanic, considering his veils is so high. But we're still only at 60 here. And in terms of secrets, we only have oh no, we have 4. So we could increase it by 4, but then we wouldn't have any secrets with which to trade. I believe one of the locations up there, I think it's Wither, trades in not Echoes. No, it looks like they trade in Z Stories and Tales of Terror. as well as trade for, but not to buy with extraordinary implications. So that's a bit of a shame. I think we'll just make our initial trip to Mount Palmerston. We'll buy up some more fuel when we get there, and we'll try to head out to the eastwards direction of there. So let's get going. We've explored most of the area over here. We could stop at Hunter's Keep again. That gives us the opportunity to get some supplies. Hopefully for free. And it is sort of out in the direction of Mount Palmerston. So we'll stop by here very quickly. If it doesn't give us supplies, it'll at least reduce our hunger, so we'll have a little less of that for the journey. We'll be able to save just a few supplies. Hello, sisters. Yes, I will trade news. Well, actually, I'll grab a port report for here. I will trade some news, which has cured them of their headaches. Who have we been eating with? We ate with Phoebe. I think she was Blast. I can't remember. I think she might have been Storm. I think it's Cynthia that we have had the least contact with. So let's see whose attention she gains. And she's the one that that tells us of wild tales. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake listening to a story of a murder, an axe, a net, blood on scented water. Another chop, Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap up something for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. Yes, so she is Salt's attention. We've gained some supplies. We've gained a tale of terror and a little bit of terror itself. But we've lost our full hunger bar, and we've gained extra supplies for it. The iron remains unchanged. I've never seen any of their tales change that. I wonder if that's a positive or a negative change that could happen. But regardless, I think that was a successful trip there. We could stop off at Demew Island. I don't quite remember what's over there. Nor do I think we actually have... I don't think we have a economy check for that location either. So we'll be able to pick that up as well. Assuming they have an economy. It might be that Demew does not have anything to adequately sell. Or buy, for that matter. Am I a little slower than I normally am? I can't tell. I am going at full speed, but I feel as though I usually travel faster than this. Is it the new gun, perhaps? I'm not sure. The Iron and Misery Company. Oh, yes. Demew was the funging station. I think that's what that is pronounced as. With the supplies that are made of fungus, I believe. Okay. So this is where our contact is, the affable factor. Hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We go quite mad here otherwise. Quite mad. How could we be of service? So, this requires that something awaits you. How do we... Here's a port report. We could accept crew... Shoot, if we had only gotten one recruiting in Fallen London, I would probably take this extra worker here. And I feel so terribly for her. What is this? Trade 2 strange catches for a Sooth and Cooper long box. We've never gotten a strange catch, and I haven't seen this option before. That's quite interesting. It seems as though this is something to do with the bandaged poissonniere, which is vendor bite. He's resided there, but we haven't had enough spare echo to take him aboard. I think he requires 300 spare echo, and I don't think we've ever gone over in that direction with that much. Let's just explore the island a little bit. Close crowded thickets of Boligus and Skirily. The Iron and Misery Company fells them daily, but they grow back almost as fast. The interior of the island is dark and wild. Oh, a privateer encampment. This was an empty clifftop above the bleak waves. Now it blazes with color. Striped tents, colored flames, and the music of pianola and kettledrum. Mustachioed women and languorous men play chess, carve bones, eat cats, and polish their terrifying brass weapons. These are Iron Republic privateers, pirates whose practice contravenes on the very... Contravene. Oh, I did get that right. Contravene on the very laws of nature. We have better luck creeping close, and I would tend to agree with that. We could attack. Lost to... they're numerous, but lost to wine and music. You will have the element of surprise, but it's very hard to know exactly what those weapons will do. But I think that since we're about to engage with a Deviless, I think we want to hear about hell. The Republic is privy to the gossip of hell. Creep close and you may learn impossible secrets. Okay, we succeeded. Fragments of meaning. They are speaking of a raid on the Khan's glory, from which they stole pieces of prayer. Of a boast that a rival band made about stealing the Empress's wedding dress. Of a sort of spiced meat which fills the heart with love. But they speak too, almost coherently, of privateer layers in the western wall, of passwords in use, of brass embassy protocols, and of tuning techniques for drawing lost souls close. What's the brass embassy? We've never heard that one before. Interesting. A buzzing rises in your brain as you listen until your eyes become unfocused and your tongue feels thick and heavy. You creep away before anything worse can happen. But this is an odd and useful miscellany of facts. Lots of fragments, a little bit of terror. Not much else. It's a shame we didn't get any passwords. Wonder if that's a thing we can get from them. Yes, let's write down Demu Islands economy here. Since I don't see any notation of that. I filled up a page full already and about half a page of another just of listings, but none to be seen for here. So it looks like Demu, M-E-A-U-X? I think that's how that's spelled. So they only sell fuel and supplies. Fuel is sold for 20 echoes. And they buy at 1 as per standard. And supplies are sold for 30 echoes. And sell for 5. So just about standard for locations outside of Fallen London. At least providential or Admiralty held locations. So I guess this is the Iron and Misery Company. Are those two tied together? I think they, if not tied together, they at least work together. So we'll just set off from here without buying anything. We didn't really come across too much. We'll head along this edge. We're getting a little low on fuel, but we are heading straight to Mount Palmerston. Uh-oh. They're having another dream again. Well, we succeeded in the challenge, but we still gained a 10 terror? Oh my goodness, that's so much. The whole Neath lit up like a sniffer mask. Like a snuffer mask. There's something in the roof, Captain. It's the roof. It's watching us. Eyes and a face. Eyes and a face. Yes, you say softly. You lay your hand on the zailor's burning forehead. There are storms in the roof. Hush. We won't join them yet. So I think this is talking about the actual sea gods of storm. Because I feel like there have been encounters where they've mentioned that he resides at the top of the cavern that this whole Untersee, the Untersee, is at. Luckily, we haven't found any enemies here. We've fed the crew. Okay, that's fine. Man, it is a real empty ocean right now. Blood on the wind. I think that's just something awaits us at shore. No islands in Zebat range that we've missed. Palmerston Reach, there's brimstone on the wind. Excellent. So we're almost there. Let's see if we can get there unassailed. Oh, okay, that's just snow. I was concerned for a moment that that was actually an issue. Yep, there we go. Look at that, an uneventful journey. And just in time, too, considering how much fuel we have. Okay, so first things first, let's dock up here, and let's visit our friend up on the crater. Time to visit the wistful Deviless. Look down and see Port Palmerston like a toy, and the ruins like gravel. You've come far, but the volcano's cone still rears above you. Rest a little before you go the last half mile. The road to the crater ends at a brass gate in the crater wall. Beside it stands an oddly charming little cottage. It's thrown together from pumice and basalt, but it features honeysuckle. An equally charming Deviless in a tea gown leans against the cottage wall, twirling a parasol and fanning herself. I am the guardian of this place, she remarks languidly. You may not pass, but can I offer you a cup of Armillaria tea? And here we go. We have the request that we can now fulfill. Do you happen to have a case of souls for me? No, I'm not going to eat them. We don't eat souls usually. I'm not clear how that story got around. I told you that I miss London. I miss hell. I'd like a keepsake, and all souls are ours, you know, by right. Here you go, lovely Deviless. Watchful and clinking, the Deviless lifts the lid of her crate. The light from the souls within illuminates her face. She stares at them for a long moment, and then tears begin to roll silently down her face. Thank you, she says. I've missed them so. One of her tears lands on the wood of the crate, which begins to smoke. Let me tell you something very special, she whispers it in your ear. Her breath smells like hot stone. But you should go now, thank you. Come back soon. So, we've satisfied her yearning for souls. We've lost the crate of human souls, which was fine. That was contraband, and that was what we were bringing it here for anyway. We've gained a secret. Okay. It's not exactly what I was looking for. And it looks like we don't have the parabola linen that this officer would need, but we're not really in search of a first officer. I believe we have, yes, the Carnelian Exile right now. Boosts our mirrors and pages. So let's grab our port report of the people that are remarkably casual about devils and devilesses residing up in the mountain. We could dig among the ruins, but that uses up supplies, so I think I will not. Instead, I will buy some food. Our supplies are still good. We have got all of the purchases here documented. So let's see. I'd say we just max out on on fuel, as many as we can hold, which evidently is only 7. We could sell a few supplies for profit. I don't know if we need 11. I think the possibility that we use all 11 before we use up the fuel, before we use up 7 fuel is low. So maybe we'll actually go digging. We're gonna... Perhaps the villagers left valuables behind. You could pick over their remains to see what you might find, you ghoul. I agree. This is not very honorable, but it will use up some supplies. We have Zoop. Okay, we have free Zoop. I forgot to consider the possibility that we would actually pick up something here. Shoot. Well, now we're full up on with the Zoop that we took in place. We also gained a memory of distant shores and a little bit of terror. Maybe... Dang. Crimson cache in a dry well choked with ash behind a shattered farmhouse. You find 2 casks of Zoop, emergency supplies or hidden treasure. No one will ever return for them. Dang. That... The Sphinx Stone is really just a mill around our neck right now. I would love to free up the spaces of it, the 20 spaces that it's taking up, so we could take on a lot more supplies and fuel. But it's looking more and more like that's not going to be a possibility until we get our veils up, or else we'll have to just dump it into the ocean. Because we can't scale it until we have 75 veils, and the veil amount that we have now at max, even with this extra 3 from the first officer, is only a max of 67 or 68 if we use up all of our secrets talking to our tireless mechanic. Maybe I will do that. Because we've got 5 secrets now. I think I'll increase it by 3, leaving 2. So it just gives us a few lessons. There we go. We're up to 63. I think we've got 7 fuel, so let's take a look at the map around this area. We've not really adventured out this way. We could make sort of a U-shaped travel back to Fallen London, and then maybe hit up the Cumaean Canal just to clear a little bit of vision around here so we know what's what. I think we'll have enough fuel to do that. I hope. If not, I think we'll have the supplies to do it, and we'll be able to make a profit off of our Zoops that we picked up. We got those for entirely free. We basically just traded 2 supplies for those. So I think we'll do that. We'll just adventure out into the black a little bit, head back to Fallen London, make a profit off of our Zoop. We'll go down to the Cumaean Canal to drop off our passenger of dubious character. And then we'll figure out what to do from there. Hopefully, we won't run into any trouble whilst doing that. Snow sweeps down from the north. The ship's engines labor against it. Does that actually make me slower? Uh-oh. That could actually be a problem. Okay, so there's some fog over there. I don't know how far out I want to go from here. Okay, so they were definitely slowing me down a little bit. We'll check this area. Here. We enter Stormbones. Saint Eligius sends his fire to dance in the air on deck. Very far away, we see the great light of the Ragged Crow. We've discovered Changyi Rift, apparently. And hear distant bells, which indicates that our something awaits us is back, I think. We'll start heading down here. Okay, so yeah, this is the rift. Wait, why did you need 75 veils? We need 75 veils in order to drop off the Sphinx Stone in Fallen London. We have to get up to, I think it was Flit, for our contact there. When we were talking to one of the people from the Grand Geode who had told us to drop it off there, but we were kind of distrustful of her, and so when another gentleman told us that there was another option, yeah, we had to get up to Flit. But unfortunately, we need quite a bit of mobility, I suppose, to do that. So we don't quite have that yet. Well, we'll see what's out here. Which seems to be a whole lot of nothing so far. We've also not seen a single other ship or creature. Not that I'm complaining. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the snares. That's a new one. So this, are we coming up on Guider's Morn already? No. Also, I was also thinking of the Utter Shroom. But doesn't seem that that's the case. This, this looks remarkably like the location we got teleported down here. King Eater's Isle? Something like that? I wonder if there's a port over here. I don't want to get too far out because we are not at a high enough fuel amount that I'd want to adventure too far. But I do want to see if there's any sort of port around here because this looks like something important. Okay. Can't seem to see anything up there. Oh, there's another ship. I don't think we've actually found anything from the Khanate yet. They've been mentioned quite a few times, so I wonder if we'll encounter them out here. Discovered crab cake. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why it's called crab cake. I hope it's not because it's a giant crab. And there is a massive island to our east here. Do we head there? Yes. There's something moving in the water here. Uh-oh. Does she know that we exist? Yes, she does. Let's test out our new cannons on her. Uh-oh. Not quite enough. We took a panic shot, so... There we go. All clear. Pigmote Isle, apparently, is what that is. The Gillifleur, is it a young Gillifleur? Port report visage. Oh, so these, watching this disperse actually gives us another port report we can give. Interesting. Shoot. I'm wondering if I want to take it for supplies. Actually, that might just do our hunger down, which would give us a whole nother supply. So I think I'll actually give that a supply. Oh no, it just gave us a flat supply. That's fine. It will wait in the hold like a cup of dissolved moon. One day you will eat it, or perhaps it will eat you. Okay, so I want to check this out, because it looks like there's a ship here. And it looks like there's a dock as well. Discovered Saints Haven. Well, we'll see what's over here. Looks rather fungal, and it's got a broken down ship on there, so I'm wondering how this is going to be like. Two houses, both alike in dignity. On a lonely desert beach, there is no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. A stretch of sand thickened into damp black earth, from which sprout stunted palms, not quite, tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. Ooh. Interesting. We disembark to see what awaits you. War. As you step on the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see off in the distance smoke rising from beyond the hill, and dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Z Captain from London to Irem, and what we did there before we arrived. Washed ashore on Mutton Island, and subsequently serialized in the Unexpected Gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. The Tale of Pigmote Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, and a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Interesting. Chapter 1, The Delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Radis Faber, wearing goggles, and a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. Welcome, Captain, to Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, second chief engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat stepped back. At precisely the same moment, with what appeared to be the ease of long habit, the guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Cavia. I am Lady Augusta Devereux Swinch of the Black Water Swinches, seneschal to our King Gracenaw, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. Oh, interesting. So we have the ability to side with either the rats or the guinea pigs, I guess. Are these people-sized rats and guinea pigs? I feel like the last time when we had a Radis Faber board our ship and repair us in Fallen London for some food, I'm pretty sure those were just rats. Shoot, the two stood at attention looking at me expectantly. Let's speak to them both, I suppose. The two remarkable rodents sat, squatted, both seeking my support. I knew I had to choose carefully. Let's talk to them both first. I spoke to the chief engineer. His eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. We came to this island to make a home for ourselves away from London, its cats and snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nodded towards the distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat, we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavie saw the light and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist them to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? Okay, let's see what the other side has to say. I spoke to the seneschal. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look so regal? A knight out of habit. The seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the duchess's own before speaking. Oh, and she speaks in verse. Lovely. Gracenaw the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain. No city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance. Assured shall be our glories in their fall, when our lady's eye restored be to our hall. The seneschal composed herself and then added, we saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Caveat. But the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble. We will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? So, was the whatever the gem that they're talking about, was that there before Gracenaw arrived at the island? Or did they conquer the island after the rats had already been there? Or rather, had they had this before the rats sailed here to kind of escape their peril in Fallen London? Shoot, this is a hard choice to make. The rats are more down to earth. I like them. We'll just chat with them again. It seems like they went here to escape London and start their own republic. And they say that they had been here before the guinea pigs. Sent armies to rule us and steal our star. She kind of speaks in vague terms. She says that they sailed for 7 months and then conquered the land, but they don't say whether they were here before the rats. They're talking about fortresses and city walls not stopping them, but does that mean there were city walls before, or are they... Shoot. I think solely because I don't like reading verse, and I think that Reginald, the former urchin, would also dislike the sort of overly pompous guinea pigs. I think I will side with the rats here. I could try to broker a peace. That doesn't look like a challenge. And I honestly, I don't have too much of an issue with Radis Fabers. They seem, at least the ones that are here, seem like they just wanted to start a new life for themselves. Yeah, and I feel like the Seneschal, the guinea pigs, kind of are just doing this for ego's sake. They seem to be just going here because they found something pretty and now they want it. I want to broker a peace, but I don't want that to lock out the ability for us to befriend the rats. I do like the rat. He's very down to earth. Let's see if I can broker the peace. We're gonna take a risk on the off chance that we can prevent war from happening. My words help them reach, or I attempt to broker the peace. Surely their commonalities were more numerous than their differences. Perhaps I could help them get along. My words helped them reach agreement. The chief engineer and Seneschal shared a look, then regarded me with scornful amusement. Yes, smirked the chief engineer. You're obviously much cleverer than us. Oh, much, murmured the Seneschal. You clearly know us much better than we know ourselves. Apparently idealism would not help here. Blast. Okay. Well, at least it didn't lock us out here. Well, I guess I'm going to side with the rat. Hopefully they don't remember that I tried to get them all to get along. I sided with the chief engineer. He seemed grumpy but honest. I knew all too well what rat-made weapons can do. And also the flavor text for the Seneschal choice makes me kind of upset. Was it her charm or a fondness for London's rat skin coats that swayed me? Perhaps a little bit of both. At any rate, I was keen to find out more about their civilization. Yeah, no, I assume that she's not wearing a rat skin coat. Maybe that's just reflecting on who I could be if I chose that. But if she is, that's horrific, especially if she's talking to them as an adversary. So I'm going to side with the chief engineer. I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The Seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. You've made the right choice, said the chief engineer. Let me show you around. Gain a bit of fuel, gain some supplies. We now have a memoir of a rat in the making. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints, as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we come upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I had encountered in the London flats. Perhaps only 50 Radis Fabers, all together working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from a stump of chicken wood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow, and it was almost too bright to look at. By its light, I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. Wait a minute. So they called the mountain that it was on. They called the area that it was on a mountain, but it is only 6 feet high. So they are actually just rats and guinea pigs. They're just normal-sized rats and guinea pigs. Interesting. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water, an albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks, where a sergeant barked drills at a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. Welcome to Murenia? Yeah. Welcome to Murenia, said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've roused the cavies. Take a stroll around while I summon the war council. With that, he vanished into one of the mounds and left me to explore. So, let's look at this rat star first, I think. I don't know if this locks out the other choices, but just in case it does, I want to check the most interesting thing. An excitable-looking rat was peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers and making notes on what appeared to be real paper, not a real paper. Blue as a sapphire, but endlessly more brilliant. That's not a star, of course, not really, but try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them, says this is better for morale, but just look at it, look. She offered me her goggles. I managed to work them over just enough of one of my eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was a scintillic, but unlike any I'd seen before, blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. Those of us who've been to the cavey side of the island and lived to tell of it say that there's plenty of glow there, plenty of bright in the water all around, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow. There's sweet water inside and coral crawling up the walls of it. But nothing that glows save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us. Oh, okay, this is the original flavor text we had before. Interesting. So that's what a scintillic is, evidently. I really hope that this island, because this is a massive island, but it seems like, considering their size, they probably only have a tiny, tiny area of the island that they're fighting over. And look at this. Look at that glowing. Maybe this is part of the guinea pig territory. Maybe that is it. All right, let's go see the barracks. Let's go see our fighting force. The drill sergeant appeared to be sizing me up. Were the few rats around her really all she had to launch an attack? We were fighting impressive odds. I approached the drill sergeant and went so far as to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her troops and offered me a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. There's more of us below ground, she explained, but not enough. The cavies are bigger and there are more of them. We're better with weapons, but haven't got the stuff to make them with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish, we can nibble the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The cavies came with their own steamer and seemed to have endless supplies. We raid them sometimes, but there's so few of us, we can never hold on to territory gained for long. But that's no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic. And the Rat Star, she added thoughtfully after a moment. Of course we want that too. Okay, so they don't actually want to go to war. They just kind of want to hold their ground. I'm glad that I sided with them. It looks... I can't quite see the areas here. But it looks like this is probably all... Well, is this the rats' territory? Because they do have the broken down ship kind of docked here. Is that the guinea pig area? I'm not sure. But they do seem to just want to hold their own. They just want to, create their own little area to survive out from fallen London. Let's head down to the beach. Who ever heard of a rat mending a net? Where the green billows played. An albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things. Blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing would never be so good without the Rat Star. He beamed. I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. So it looks like they're not just drawn to the shininess and pleasantness of it all. They're actually sort of reliant on us as well. Let's talk to the War Council. I finished my exploration. The bells of the War Council rang. I was summoned. The chief engineer emerged from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduced them as weapon engineers, strategists, and field commanders. Weapon experts, I see. So you're going to help us beat the cavies, he said, a hard edge to his voice. But how exactly? So we could fight them straight up. Somehow we'll have difficulty fighting. I guess they are intelligent guinea pigs, but I feel like we'd have a significant size advantage. Or we could just offer some strategic assistance. We engineered a distraction that the LBs could use to plunder the KV's ship and turn the tide in their favor. I had a ship, I had cannons. We would steer her to the southern side of the island and have at those uppity animals. Yeah, I will give them a distraction such that I am not personally responsible for blowing up the guinea pigs. I could just give them advice, but I feel as though I'm indebted to them for. I feel sort of a kinship with them. You know, we're just two sort of small fish in the world trying to make our way up. They're trying to build up their republic. I've got my captainship, my ship, and my crew. So I think I'll give them my 94% chance of success here. A questing beast. I dressed up one of me zailors in a mess of shabby cloth smeared with prisoner's honey and instructed him to roll around in the black earth of the island. So soon we had a glorious mud monster to send thrashing through the chicken woods towards the cavies. The distraction worked perfectly. The cavies diverted their force towards our makeshift beast, leaving the rats with very little opposition as they plundered the grounded ship. They returned triumphant, as did my sailor, laughing, having led the cavies a merry chase. Within a few hours, the rats' diligence had resulted in the building of a remarkable cache of weapons with which they successfully routed their enemy. The rats, ever egalitarian, shared their spoils in addition to the promised food and fuel. See, that's nice. I feel like the guinea pig side would have just been, the only reason they would have shared with us would have been to keep us even with their royal debt. They didn't want to be indebted to us. So we succeeded. Hail, Urinia. We've gotten some more occurrences here. An occurrence, your pig moat isle spirit quality is now 3 conflicted. You have 4 bales of parabola linen. Oh, nice. We've got a scintillic. Wait a minute. We've gained 10 fuel. Oh my goodness. We can sail around for ages with that. Okay, so the scintillic, that's their thing. Surely we didn't steal their rock. Maybe this is just one of the other rocks that are around there. And it did seem like, since they were talking about raiding the grounded ship, it does seem like this is the guinea pig section. The House of Kavi had fallen. Murinia was triumphant. All that remained were the celebrations and the continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night then. We could invite a rat to join us. We've already got a mechanic. We've got an engineer. Or we could intercede on the part of the cavies. I don't want them to outright kill them all. We wanted to support the rats so that they could continue living, but now that they've been beaten, I interceded on behalf of the cavies. They were crushed, defeated, and I could see their spirits broken without the light of the rat star to guide them. They needed an advocate. I don't want to anger the rats, but at the same time, I really want to advocate for these guys. So I think I will. A grudging concession. I appealed to the chief engineer's moral fortitude and sense of fair play. Perhaps the cavies suffered a loss of the light from the center of their island. Perhaps they were only trying to get it back, not steal it from the rats. The chief engineer looked troubled at the thought. We only wanted to be left alone, he said. He looked toward the seneschal, haphazardly bandaged among the rats' other prisoners. Perhaps further negotiation is possible. As I left, I saw the albino rat timidly offering a young Kavi prisoner a piece of fresh fish. That's nice. There we go. We've forged peace between them now that they've fought and uh, are playing from a sort of even ground. Look at that, and the quality is now optimistic. Shall we take a rat with us? We could. It doesn't seem that we'll necessarily need to lose anybody. Or need to replace him immediately, should that be required. What the heck? The chief engineer couldn't leave his colony, but he relayed my request to his people. The albino rat I saw mending nets shyly stepped forward. I'm good at fixing things, he said earnestly, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before accompanying him on board. Wait, we've lost some civilization? Oh, no, because we took their friend. We took their mender. Shoot. I hope he taught somebody how to mend nets. The wide dark sea beckoned. We had eaten our fill and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors still awaited us. Shoot, so we actually are full up here. Oh, this is dramatically annoying. These are both worth quite a bit. Let's see. The bale of parabola linen, if we're just looking at Fallen London, that sells for 60 echoes. We got it entirely for free. The Scintilic definitely sells for quite a bit. Maybe not quite. 70 echoes there. Though I feel like I've seen them... I've seen islands looking to purchase them for more. And perhaps a quest somewhere. I haven't been writing down the quests. Blast. So I definitely don't want to get rid of either of those. That's for sure. I could drop off the Zoop, but that's also worth 70 echoes. Or whatever this copper, Soothe and Copper long box is. I have no idea where we pick this up. We also haven't found Depot A Station 3. Blast. We could actually trade this for the 700 echoes with our contact in Fallen London. We need 7, so we need to buy 3. But buying 3 at Fallen London, which is the only place that I can see we have them. Just running down the list here. Yes, buying 3 from there would cost us 360, I believe, because they're 120 echoes each. So we'd still make a profit of about half. I don't want to get rid of the Sphinx Stone because it cost us 200 echoes to bloody pick up. Maybe we'll get rid of a little bit of fuel. So we need... Oh, we need so much... We need to get rid of so much stuff. Come on. Fuel is expensive, too. Well, relatively speaking. We have to use a lot of it. Can we not? Shoot. Blast this Sphinx Stone. This is really taking up so much space now. This is the first time there's been a real problem. I guess we just toss fuel over until we have... Yeah, we've only got 2 fuel in this case from the whole exchange. We're tossing quite a bit of it, but we can't really do anything with it. I wish we could sell it, but I don't think that's the case. Dang. No shops. We've got... Oh, it's a mascot. And it gives us some veils, too. Nice. That'll bring us up to 65. And 68 with the navigator. So we are kind of almost getting there. I think we'll leave him in here for now unless we need to succeed in a challenge. Well, it's nice that they ended up getting along finally. Hail Murinia. The Neath's most adorable nation scurries beneath her legs. Scintillic harvesters drag heavy bags of the island's bounty to their silos. Industrious rodents work hard on towering edifices, some of them almost neck-high. London will never believe a bloody word of this. Apparently, could help them resolve a dilemma, but we don't have Pigmote Isle. Oh no, we do have all of this. New nation has been founded. Ah, we need something awaits you to help resolve the dilemma. Oh, we could steal the Rat Star. No, that would be terrible of us. After they've fought a terrible war for it. Okay. Well, I think that was a great journey. We're gonna just book it straight back to Fallen London. With our 2 fuel? Wait, we only have 2 left total? Oh, this is not good. We're gonna have to burn so many supplies to get back. What's this game about? We are a ship captain in the Untersee, a sea... Uh-oh. Hold on a moment. Burning blue, a hiss of horror from the lookout. The glim lamp is the front of the ship. Is sputtering, arcing, fizzing with blue light, even as you watch. Blue light fades, but it's not a good omen. Ah, chill, buddy. Well, we gained some terror. Oh, well. But yes, this game is all about being a sea captain in a underground cavern with London in there, now called Fallen London, which was brought down by bats. As wild as that is, that's not nearly the most wild thing in the game. We have just settled a war between rats and guinea pigs over a gem that provides light sitting on top of what they call the mountain, which is actually a 6-foot hill. We've also thrown all of our fuel overboard because we have 200 completely worthless Sphinx stone that we can't trade. And I hadn't realized that that was talking about in addition to our stuff. Yeah. We succeeded, but we still gained terror. Okay, we're going to head back to Fallen London before our time burns out. Can I just chop this up immediately and throw it into the engine here? Oh, there's a lighthouse here. This is probably, yeah, Guider's Mourn. Maybe we can actually head to Guider's Mourn down here. And... uh-oh. Whoa, this is new. The sea... Recurring nightmare watch. The sea is bright as milk. False stars above are black on a pitchy bed. Something's watching you. Its gaze enfolds your boat. You're transparent as glass. So we can flee the nightmare. Turn the helm and flee across the milk-bright sea, which will reduce its strength. We have a 100% chance of doing either of these. Do you have any restful nights that will reduce the difficulty? Or we could try to investigate what's going on. Go deeper into the nightmare. The eye wants to learn you. We'll let it. You'll learn the eye in turn. We're being watched. Our crew's had so many dreams about the ceiling watching us. The roof of the cavern. I wonder if it's better to increase the night. I want to investigate the eldritch horrors of the sea, so I'm going to go deeper into the nightmare. The eye wants to learn you. Well, let it. You'll learn the eye in turn. On across the sea, beneath you, the eye grows wider. The water begins to warm, to steam. Remove your garments. It may soon be time to swim. Gained a tale of terror. We've gained a menace of nightmare strength, and we've gained a little bit of terror default. Patrick's lot is here. We need to make as direct a line to Guider's Morn here as we can. We'll actually shut off our light. It'll increase terror, but it will also save us a little bit of fuel. And we should be able to get some sort of fuel here, even if we have to sell off our supplies to do it. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers. Okay, that's just our something awaits you coming back. And we've now reached our... Oh, interesting. We've reached the pirate area. So we could go for a port report. We've now got the people to do so. Traded Drowning Pearl for 2 solace fruits. We don't have one of those. We've already heard about the pirate poet. Nothing more terrifying to pirates than poetry. That's for sure. We could spend an evening at the Errant Limpet. A drinking den by the dock cradles is a good place for your crew to find companionship and let off steam, but although Guider's Morn is a free point, the Corsairs prefer their own and look askance at the respectable Londoners. That'll spend some money, and it will get rid of our terror, which is rather high. Yeah, what the heck. Let our crew go ashore in this pirate island. A rousing evening, nevertheless. Your crew teaches the limpet a whole cycle of epically filthy sea shanties. At one point, you could swear you hear your name inserted in one of the more complex verses, but you maintained a diplomatic silence. Lost a little bit of terror and a whole lot of money. Okay, so let's check out their fuel situation. 30 echoes! Oh my goodness! That's absurd. Oh my god. Okay. At least we're selling our supplies at the exact same price we bought them in Fallen London. We've got one. We've got a long ways to go, even if we just head straight back. And we've got 80 echoes on us. We'll buy fuel first. So we'll buy up to 40. We'll sell 2 of our supplies and buy another 2 fuel. 5 should definitely get us back. And 6 is plenty of supply to get back to shore with. And I suppose before we leave, we'll do something risky. Which is to say, we're going to try to observe the pirate smuggler and pirate captain infested island to report back to the Admiralty for. We had a couple guys die last time, but now we've got some more guys. So let's see here. Guider's Morn swarms with pirate smugglers and captains of uncertain allegiance. You could learn a lot here, but you'll need to go carefully. In caution. A steaming bathhouse on a spur of rock. Water slops over the edge of tubs, out over the edge to join the Z far below. Scarred captains boast drunkenly of the prizes they've taken and the victims they have marked out. You listen from the shadows. There we go. A port report. Considering the location, I have a feeling that's going to be worth quite a lot of money to the Admiralty. And thus disappears the last of our monies. Yeah, no kidding. Luckily, we're just heading straight back to Fallen London with our hold plenty of stuffed with very costly items. Zoop sells for 70. If we can ever unload this, it'll sell for hopefully 500, perhaps more. If we can get our veils high enough to climb to wherever the flit is to drop it off. And Parabola Linen, once we purchase 3 more, will sell for 700 echoes. And then the Scintillic, which sells for like 250? No, that sells for 70 as well. So, let's launch straight off and get the heck back to Fallen London. We'll turn off our light to save fuel. We'll just proceed this way. I don't think there's anything between us and Fallen London that we particularly need to watch for. We've sort of found everything in that area. And in general, I think it's better for us to sneak with our veils rather than try to fight with our iron, even though we have just upgraded our weapon. That was more for emergency purposes rather than actual combat initiation. Our terror's building up, but that will drop down to 50 again once we get back to Fallen London. Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the funnel. St. Erasmus is dancing. The cry goes up. No idea what that one means. I believe all of these rocks are known quantities. Pretty sure we passed by this location more than once. Hold on a moment. That old fury, a zailor has run mad. She roams the ship, cudgel in hand, smashing comrades to the deck. She cries, he is angry, he is angry. Oh no. She's already killed one man? We could just shoot her immediately. But maybe it's easier to well, it's easier to do this, but I don't want to lose 2 crew members. She's already killed 1, unfortunately. We'll give it a 1 in 4 chance to capture her. Blast. Futile, futile. She's quick and strong and merciless. She brings another zailor down in a trailing spray of red. We've lost another crew. We can't risk losing another crew member to try to talk her down, because if we hit 4, if we fail, we'll lose another one. We'll be at 5, and we'll have to shoot her then, which will result in us being at 4, which means we can't keep at full speed. I'm terribly sorry, mad lady. We're going to have to kill you. A bitter end. Your sailor's weapons roar, and down she goes. You recite a hasty funeral for the poor soul and her wretched victim. But who will be next? Wait, we already lost 2 crew? Shoot. Okay. Evidently the madness from being without light is a little more damning than I thought it would be. We're about halfway back, so I think our 4 fuel should... not a ship. Okay, I think our 4 fuel should be enough to get us back home. Alright, you. Are you going to deal trouble with us? So it seems. Alright. Well, we cleared that out without too much damage to our hull. Let's go pick up what we can. Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Spider silk. Do we have the room? Perhaps? Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, we did have the room. We had exactly enough room for it. Cool. So that's another thing we can sell. Though, at this rate, I'm rather concerned. We fed the crew, that's fine. Our progress is very much slowed. We could dock at the lighthouse, see what's up. We don't have money to buy fuel from them, even if we do end up needing it there. Send a Z-Bat out. Anything close by that we haven't touched on? Nope. There's the lighthouse. I think, yeah, we do need to head a little further south to pass by this island. We'll limp into shore. We're close enough for that, at least. A sort of beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuit. It waggles its antenna impertinently. Well, you fellows have a meat sandwich now. Ah, home water. The fellows are finally calming down. Hopefully. Yep, we just need to head on straight from here. Okay, now that we're in the light, we'll turn off ours. Shoot, that's the second time we've come back from Guider's Morn with 4 crewmates. Though last time we lost them in a fight while we were trying to observe the island. So, I suppose not quite the same situation, but I'm having a feeling this is a bad omen for visiting there. Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the funnel, St. Erasmus dancing, the cry goes up. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what St. Erasmus is. If that's a location or evidently a person. Ah, hello. Our nightmare is returned. The sea is bright as milk, false stars above you are black on a pitchy bed. Something is watching you, its gaze enfolds your boat. You are transparent as glass. We've still got a 60% challenge here. I do want to confront the nightmare eventually. Succeeded. Beneath you, the eye grows wider, the water begins to warm to steam. Remove your garments, it may soon be time to swim. Gained another Tale of Terror. We've got tons of Tales of Terror. We got to do something with these. Gained a Menace. That's up to 3, and we've gained a little bit of Terror. And we've lost our Restful Nights, unfortunately. Those... If we have the spare cash, we'll rest at our home with our lovely wife and child. I wonder if she's still doing spy things like she was doing very poorly when we first met her. For anybody who wasn't around then, we met our wife when she was doing a terrible job at being a spy. Okay, we have limped into port. Don't search my ship, please. A breath of relief. As soon as the gangplank touches the quayside, the terrors of the deep sea lighten. Walk taller, smile more readily, but what dreams may cling. Lovely. We've gained a Menace, Nightmare's Strength. I think after this we can confront the nightmare the next time we see it, yes? Let's collect some messages for from our harbor master here. Something has changed. Somebody else wants to sign on. We'll need you. Blind Bruiser has departed. Oh, okay. I wonder if I missed him. I never managed to figure out how to find him. He was somewhere on the docks, but I was never able to see him or interact with him anywhere. And we've got a free evening. Okay, let's first talk to the Admiralty's office to get our port reports to pay for. Guiders Morn, you have something to tell us about the pirate fleets of the forest? That we do. And now we have 30 echo. Gain a little bit of fuel. Perfect. The Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty, notionally. Nice and cheap, but it gives us fuel. Mount Palmerston, the Brimstone Convention. They trouble me, Captain. Well, the Deviless that we were talking to is quite lovely, Admiral. So I feel you have nothing to worry as long as we mind our business. Ah, Pigboat Isle. I'm not certain I heard you correctly. You're very correct. Hold on a moment. Oh, we're full up at fuel. Oh, terrible. Okay. Toss 1 fuel. And we'll come back to this after we've sold our wares. Report submitted. Are you quite certain this is the report you wish to make? So be it. Yeah, you probably think we're a little mad at this point. And we'll save the Demuse Gate for after we have sold. Our scintillic? I swear we needed this for something. We'll sell the zoop. We don't need that for anything, that's for sure. And the bolts of spider silk as well. We'll keep this because we need to buy 3 more, which will cost us 360. We're a little short at the moment. Let's deliver that last port report to the Admiralty. Demuse Gate. Yes, we have indeed been there. So we are a tad short here to get our 700. We could sell all of our fuel and supplies, but I don't think they would sell for very much. Yeah, fuel only sells for 2 and supplies sell for 5, so we'd be making a considerable loss on those. Could sell the questionably worthless torpedo nets. We could sell our engine. We could just try to row everywhere. What can we do? Ooh, perhaps we could sell to the scholar here. Will you purchase this from us? This extraordinary implication, or will you take it? I suppose we haven't found anything to use it for quite yet. There we go. The scent of secrets. I will place it with the others one day. One day I will have enough. We have gained 250 echo, as well as 2 fragments, but those aren't quite as important at this moment. We'll keep the outlandish artifacts because we're looking to collect 7, I believe, for our contact with the venturer here. Yes. Or no, we'll actually be doing the bales of parabola linen, not the outlandish artifacts. So maybe we could sell those if we needed. It'll be a little cheaper. We'll only be getting 700 echoes instead of 1,500, but also we've already got the parabola linen, so we might as well. Let's pick up the rest of our parabola linen that we need. 1, 2, and we can't get a third because we don't have the room for it. Curse this Sphinx stone. Curse it to heck. Roser's Wharf? Ah, here's where we need our scintillic for. A tattooed courier will pay well for a consignment of scintillic. Her skin is crowded with bright ink, her smile is cocky. Let's go give it to ya. A satisfied customer. It makes admirable jewelry, she explains, but exceptional tea? It's a ruby, is it not? Okay, interesting. 2 of the market's horse-masked attendants help her reel the box away. Souls for 105 echo. That's a fair amount. That is more than we would have made in the shops, to be certain. So let's get our last bale of parabola linen and talk to our venturer here. Something forlorn. You can find it in Irem or Dreams. I don't know which is easier to find. Actually, they sell it down at the Wolf Stack, but where's the romance in that, or the profit? 700 echoes for 7 bales. Here you go, my friend. We did get some of them at Wolf Stack, but we got the other ones from Rats, so, you know, sometimes they're rather strange. What else are you looking for now? Still looking for the outlandish artifacts? No, he's not. Hold on a moment. He's still looking for 7 bales of hay? Evidently so. Okay. So we can, if we ever find Irem, we can get him for, we can get parabola linen there to sell to him. Or if we collect 7 more outlandish artifacts, we can also do that. Lovely, that trade still exists. Let's go to our lovely mansion. Or elegant townhouse, I suppose. It's not the Z-side mansion quite yet. We can go talk to our child, which will use our free evening up, which is okay. Your sweetheart comes and goes. They have their own complicated business, but they always return to your shared home and your child, who's, I guess, rather wild considering the lack of oversight. Maybe we have a babysitter. Maybe we have a maid of some sort. We could read the morning papers. Sure, let's do that. the Unexpected Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine, and the Spiteful Trumpeter. The Khanate is threatening war, they always are. London's colonies on the Carnelian coast want independence, they always do. The Untersee, papers the port, has undergone another alteration, not yet it hasn't, you'd know. And a promotional coupon for Mrs. Plenty's provisioners for a half cask of salt herring. You could use that. Oh, and we gained some supplies as well. Lovely. We've got a fair amount of echo now, though we do need to replenish our fuel supply and hire new crew. So we could sleep to get into the restful nights, which we might use to combat our nightmares. I don't know if that will be something when we face the nightmares that we need. Perhaps, perhaps not. We could write our will. That'll cost 200 echo, but we could turn some of those artifacts, or some of the outlandish artifacts that we have into heirlooms. They don't do anything, as far as I can tell. Perhaps there are some that do something. So I don't think we're going to do that quite yet. Then maybe now that we've upgraded our ship, we should just build the will anyway. Well, I think I'll spend some time with the family. We'll spend some time with our child. So what do we have? They have 10, I believe, sea fever. Such that they want to visit the ocean. We need 25. We can give them some more memories of distant shores. We could give them an outlandish artifact, but since we're trading that, I think not. Let's just tell them some tales of far lands. There's something you saw far across the black ocean. Share it. There you go. Your child's eyes grow round as pennies. They store up the memories as dream fuel. Much later, you find the scenes you described scrawled on a foolscap sheet by a childish hand. That'll lose us quite a bit of terror. Lovely. And give us some more memoirs for our child. Yeah, so this is what has locked us down so far. We need 75 veils. We've got 63. And we can't get rid of all 20 of those Sphinx Stone without them. We've also visited the Grand Geode, the alternate area that we turned down to go and deliver, but to attempt to deliver the Sphinx Stone. But it seems that turning down their quest, or rather picking up this new one to deliver it to Slivy in the Flit, has overwritten that object. We can no longer do that. Let's go check our recruits here. The Genial Magician increases veils and mirror. Ooh. The Genial Magician is also something that offers a lot of quest openings. I do like the mechanic. He gives purely veils, but he would probably be better for quest areas. This I do not know. Is it better to if we have them in our wings, if we just keep them in our officership storage, will they open up quest lines, or do we have to have them equipped there in order to do that? Because I do like the 5% efficiency, fuel efficiency gain that our tireless mechanic does. But I'd like to have the Genial Magician. You do not have to have them equipped. Perfect. That is exactly the answer I was hoping to hear. In that case, let's go pick up the Genial Magician. Good afternoon, Captain. Perhaps I can do your engines some good. No, I'm quite the engineer. Difficult to credit, isn't it? But here are my references. Welcome aboard. I'll get to work below. Perhaps I should change out of this jacket first. We have him. Let's go check on his bonuses. Veils of 6 and mirrors of 3, but a heart drop of 1. And since we're going for veils pure and simple, we'll leave our tireless mechanic here. And who is the other fellow? Oh, I suppose we can only get one. Okay, that's a bit of a shame, but we can hire more crew on for 30 echoes. That's not too expensive a price here. An eager-seeming crowd of zailors consumed all the beer you buy and then melts away. Naturally. You're left with a single strabismic, melancholy seaman who wants to know if he can bring his pickled monkey aboard. I'll pad the bottle with straw, he promises. It's a monkey in a bottle? Oh, it's a pickled monkey, so it's actually just a monkey, like, kind of in a jar of liquid. That's unsettling. We have 5. I want to hire more. I can't believe we failed with a 90% chance of success. Wow. 1 in 10. What are the odds? I guess the odds are 1 in 10. Let's do it again. And now we have too many. Rich pickings, your tall tales find a ready audience, scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. Okay, so we're going to burn through supplies at a high rate at this point. We'll need to have quite a few of those. Really, you don't want to trade anything else? I fulfilled that request. I wonder why he didn't do anything else. So, we've already gotten all our fuel from the Admiralty. We could do with some more. Actually, maybe we'll just make a quick run to the Cumaean Canal to drop off our passenger that wants to be dropped off there. Our potentially murderous, somewhat suspect passenger. I think I will buy nothing. Yes. I think I will buy nothing. We'll do a run to and from the Cumaean Canal. We'll return there with some more echo. It's not a considerable issue at this point, but it is... I've lost my train of thought. It's not a considerable issue, our echo amount at this point, but our cargo space is. Let me check if the Cumaean Canal has an economy that we can look through. It looks as though they only purchase and sell fuel and supplies, so nothing we can trade down there. Perhaps we could go to the Iron Republic and fill up on fuel there, since it's 2 echoes less than it is in Fallen London. Let's see. Do they have anything to purchase particularly? They buy supplies for 25, so we could go overloaded with supplies and sell it down there. Or Zoop. They buy Zoop at a 7 echo profit. Should we buy them here? Maybe that's our option. We load up on Zoop here. As many as we can. I think we have 5 spaces left. Let's double check. We have 6 spaces left. We load up on as much Zoop as we can. We sell the Zoop in the Iron Republic once we pass the Cumaean Canal and do all our business there. We sell the Zoop in the Iron Republic and buy fuel. As much as, say, up to like 10-ish. Just so we don't have to buy more in Fallen London. And I suppose we could buy Dark Drop coffee beans, which would sell for a profit of 6 in Fallen London. I know I'm min-maxing a little bit. We can pretend this is a proper captain journey. So we want to make profit on our goods. The fact that we know exactly the profit we're going to make on our goods kind of lessens the mystery, but it's profit to be made nonetheless. So let's go for that. Shops. This. We can't buy Zoop here. Okay, so that kind of throws a wrench in our plans. Do they want mushroom wine? Seems not. So I guess the next best thing is to buy supplies and sell those for a 5 profit at the Iron Republic. Which is fine. We can load up on supplies in the event that we need them. We'll have them. And we'll sell them for a bit of a profit. Okay. Perfect. I think we have everything we need to set off to the Cumaean Canal. I think we should have enough fuel as well to reach both the Cumaean Canal and the Iron Republic without having to purchase fuel at the Cumaean Canal. Worst comes to worst, we have excess supplies that we can use. So that will be fine. We will hug the shore so as to stay in the light. We could see if Mutton Island is still eating people, like they were the last time. I don't see a visual block, though. Oh, okay. Oh, they have seen us. Oh my goodness. Whoa, what was that? He was off there. Let's go dock here to avoid him and his aggro. So, Quaker's Haven and Mutton Island. Still being blockaded. Okay, well, let's go talk to the blockade. Mutton Island is under quarantine. A wan lookout calls in a shaky voice. Until such time as proper manners and appetites are restored, you'll find no welcome here. At least we got the port report. Yeah, the last time that we were here, they ate 2 of our crew. So I am not opposed to them being blockaded at the moment. We'll shut off our lights here, both to avoid detection from whatever this ship happens to be in that crab, as well as to save fuel. Ah, hush ye. I wonder what happens if we ignore this. Oh, we lose some terror. Okay. So maybe that's the better option. Silence at the breakfast table. The crew is subdued as they take their meals, but all is quiet in the next watch. So I guess ignoring them could be a better option than dealing with them every time. Because dealing with them gains terror, despite the fact that we're putting them at ease, which I don't get at all. And gives us fragments, which I think eventually turn into secrets. But considering the terror buildup that we have at the moment, maybe it's a better idea to travel the last stretch of this with the lights on. Perhaps it's a better idea to ignore them entirely. I don't think they give us any other benefit than those fragments. And the terror that they give, I think it was 10 the last we saw. So that is a significant deficit. Little ships throng the waters here. The crew grows wistful. They swap old stories of the Sunless Sea. We draw near to the Cumaean Canal, the way up to the surface. Yep, everything is as it is. We can drop off our travel writer again. As before, Captain, here is the payment for bringing me here. I'll be back by nightfall. We'll speak more then. Go off. Cause no issue. By evening bell, the travel writer sets swiftly into port, his briefcase hanging easily to his side. In the middle of your afternoon tea, a crowd rushes by the cafe. They gather at the foot of a lamppost, gawking, shrieking, gasping. A woman is strung from the light, her face sliced like Venetian blinds. Heaven, a pale navigator whispers, isn't she the explorer? Said she meant to plant a flag on the Z-bed. No one replies. You spy the travel writer in the crowd frowning. A final request. Okay. The August travel writer makes a few notes in his journal as you walk back to your ship. His suit is immaculate. Those hands are ink-stained. I've one last port to visit, he says quietly. There's 200 echoes in it for you this time. So there has been a murder in which he has been in proximity to it in the last 2 locations we have dropped him. Now, it is suggesting that he is probably the murderer, I would say. It is likely. This is his final voyage for 200 echoes, but I'm concerned that he's going to kill us. We do have excess crew, though. Maybe. And it could be a possibility that he just happens to be proxy to the murders that are occurring. Perhaps he's attempting to save them. Do it. I want to see how it ends. I sort of want to see how it ends too. And to be very corporate about it, we have the employees to spare. 200 echoes. Where do you want? A final chapter. The travel writer snaps his journal shut. I've only one last place I wish to visit, Khan's Heart. Take me there whenever is most convenient. Khan's Heart. So that must be the center of the Khanate. Where on earth is that? We have not seen a single bit of the Khanate, despite having heard of them many a time. We could listen for surface gossip. It's kind of the only thing we can do, as well as gather a port report, which will be perfunctory, since this is very close to Fallen London, and the Admiralty has explicit interests in keeping this open, considering it is the connection to the surface and the Untersee between the two. Well, let's listen to surface gossip here. Daylight. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary half-legal hostelries and long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntanned surface sailors, stories of Paris and Batavia, the lost fires in the final isles. Hey, a vision of the surface. In Venturbite, they're always eager for news of the surface. Yes, they are. And we could use a cook. And we've got lots of echoes. Maybe we'll visit there next. Visit Venturbite. Head over back to Pigmote Island. I want to see how Pigmote Isle ends up doing after we've left it. Because we had a seminal part in its creation. So I want to see how it exists now that we've brokered peace between the rats and the guinea pigs up there. All right. Let's launch down now, though, and head for the Iron Republic. I'll leave the lights on this time since I think we've got the fuel for it. That we're going at an excessively quick rate compared to normal. I wonder why that is. Shall we hit this jelly shroom? I think it'll either give us supplies or cut our hunger, but our hunger has just disappeared. So perhaps not. A very quiet journey other than that jelly shroom. Nothing popping up, including the nightmare. We'll have to watch for, I believe it's Adam's Doom. Yes. Sizzling vapors rise from the sea. Time slips sideways. A coil of rope has stung a stoker and his fellows beat it to death. We are under the hand of the Iron Republic. The area of devils. I think. I'm pretty sure this is all devilish. All I know is that the whole area is nuts. Everything here is just absolutely crazy. Okay, let's turn off our lights since we're close enough to shore. I wonder what the split headlights down there were from. Perhaps that's one of the Iron Republic ships? I know that they're kind of odd. Hell's client state, be wary. Their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Don't have enough terror, apparently, to listen. Your fears line up on the quay, waving like old lovers. That's a new one. We could get our cannoneer here. You only give us 1 iron, and despite the fact that you're my old friend from when we were urchins, my helming of this ship as a captain indicates that we sort of need better weapons here. Captain, are you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here's my design for a whistling shell. Is he talking about a artillery shell? Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it? We could set our sailors ashore, but that seems a terrible idea. I think it would be better to open up the market to us, because at present we only have the ability to purchase fuel and not to sell our supplies. Could compile the port report, which turns into nothing. And we don't have a forward-mounted weapon trade, nor do we have a forward-mounted weapon slot. So let's open up this market first. On days such as this, the market is filled with crucified dragons and laws in waiting. They whistle a welcome. The Gesundheit conspiracy is open for business. I have never noticed that that is the name of the shop. Wow. What a name. Okay, so we'll sell... We'll sell all but 3, I think. Because it'll take us 3 to get back. We can buy more when we go back to Fallen London. And we'll instead use that space to buy up as much fuel as we can. Leaving 5 spaces open, which leads to a total of 8. Yes, 8 seems like a perfectly adequate amount of supplies to have. I suppose we can buy perhaps 2 more. And those will probably burn out when we're heading back. Okay, our hold is well and full. We've still got the mill of Sphinx stone around our neck to drag us down to the ocean floor. Let's compile this port report. It won't be entirely straightforward. The streets won't lie straight, and the ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. To record the Republic's secrets, it's like trying to sing wax or believe water. You do what you can. The 3rd paragraph buds eyes. The date is fundamentally wrong. The full stop bite. Full stops bite. The periods bite. You do what you can. Oh, we've gained pages. That's nice. We've got the port report. You've gained a tale of terror. Fine. And you've gained a memory of distant stores. Lovely. I'd really like to get rid of these tales of terror somewhere. Maybe I can take them up to... Let's see. What is the location that deals in tales of terror? Wither. 2 tales of terror for a supply. Maybe that's a useful place I can spend them. Let's see here. Do they want anything at cost? Right, they don't buy anything with cash, with the exception of the anatomical cabinet. So, probably not. Yeah, I think that is our business here. Where's our gunner? Hold on, did we not pick up a gunner just now? Did we lose that opportunity once we opened up the market? Blast. I think we did. And what is this open... What was it? The... Something had opened up. A shop of some type. Curious. I suppose it was just this called something else. Oh well. We've got 45 notable occasions. Oh well. Oops, that's not how you do that. This is how you do that. Okay, we will launch to Fallen London. We could head all the way up to Wither and then sail across to Pigmote Isle. We haven't explored this area out. Or maybe, perhaps we have, and it's like one of these sections here that are unexplored in on the map, but that we have gone through in theory. But I think considering how large this is, we will do that. Yes, we'll head up to Fallen London. We'll head up to Venderbite to give our Story of the Surface, I believe. And then we'll head to Wither to sell off our Tales of Terror for supplies. Maybe. I think Wither's a little out there. I don't think we need to get rid of our Tales of Terror. They're not taking up any space. So I think we'll go to Fallen London, Vendor Bite, perhaps, and then straight to Pigmote Isle. All right, let us undock. We'll turn our lamp off since we're close to shore. Our terror isn't terribly high. We'll have to make sure not to get dragged into the whirlpool. I assume that does damage, or perhaps kills us outright. I can't see any advantages to ever doing that, but it is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't think it's intended as a as an actual hazard, or at least not a massive one. Perhaps we'll encounter more once we make our way out to the middle of the oceans unexplored. Where is everyone? Where did they go? They're here. They're here. You're not alone. Another nightmare. Terror is getting a little high, but not nearly as high as it has been before. Gennady Harbor? Hold on. Oh, that's the name of the harbor at the Cumane Canal. We're not at a lack of fuel, but I don't want to have to purchase too much in Fallen London, considering how much more cheaply we just purchased it in the Iron Republic. We're a little ways out. I think our terror is doing adequately. A row full of watchful Z-bats hang from a cable, their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Not too much. I suppose I might as well send my Z-bat out. The Murray Straits. There we go. Quaker's Haven has... I wish there was a dreadnought or some sort of ship indicating that whether or not it was still blockaded. Because I would stop by, but mostly I just don't want to. If it's still blockaded, since we've already gotten the port report from that. Once blockaded, it'll never become unblockaded. Okay, I see. Alright, we have made it back with one bit of food to spare. Well, shame about Mutton Island. It was lovely while it was not cannibalistic. Collect messages from the Harbor Master. Yep. Something has changed. Somebody wants to sign on. The blind bruiser is back. No idea how to reach him still. Let's go and... Shoot, did we pick up anything? I feel like we were supposed to pick up something from the Iron... Last, we didn't. I think we were supposed to pick up Dark Drop Coffee to make a little bit of a profit on that, but we ended up forgetting about that, which is okay. Yeah, he's still just stuck on those two, the Outlandish Artifacts and the Silk Sheets. The Parabola Linen, I think. So let's just deliver our port reports, I suppose. And we could check for new recruits, I suppose. Humane Canal. Yep, Perfunctory. Iron Republic. Again, it's blank. That is a very strange place, that is. And Quaker's Haven. Oh, shoot, and that actually gave us fuel. So how much storage do we have in the hold? Only enough for 4. Can't get rid of anything here. Selling fuel would just be a waste, I think. Getting supplies out at Z is rather difficult. Will 5 supplies be enough? To satiate our crew, certainly not. Blast this blasted Sphinx Stone. It is so annoying. Let's see Roser's Wharf. Centillic lady is still there. Could change out the people looking by escorting some acquaintances there. Let's see. Can we purchase Centillic in any location that we have previously visited? It doesn't look like that is the case. Yes, it looks like all locations do not have Centillic. Though Solace Fruit is something we can purchase, but I think everywhere that we have found, it purchases for the same price, which is 250 echoes, which is a bit too rich for whatever potential trade this is. So I think I'll usher in a new day with my free evening. I don't think our terror is still... It's there, but it's not a significant issue. And I could spend it with my family, but I think our child has seen us recently enough. Let us... Oh, maybe we should get the new recruit. No, it'll probably just be a crewmate. And we don't need any of those. So yes, let's usher in a new day here. Puppet plays press on uninterrupted. Personal collections grow. Words written in fogged mirrors are hastily wiped away. The exotic exchanges pollinate dreams. Let us see what they're looking for now. A jovial contrarian is purchasing long boxes. We have long boxes? We do. We could give that away to clear up some room in our cargo. Some room in our hold, our cargo space. I don't know if it's something important, though. I feel like it's part of a quest. We haven't ever found a Depot Station 3. Depot A Station 3. I think we're good on echoes for now. If we end up coming back low on echo, we'll know that we have something to sell. Yes, I think that is the correct order of things. So I will purchase supplies up to maximum. I'll sell 2 fuel. I'll sell 1 fuel and purchase a single more supply. And that way, we will be good. Don't have anything that uses torpedo components, that's fine. Could buy better engines or secure compartments, but that's okay. Yes, I think... Yes, it seems as though mirrors are the only thing that that a new headlight would give, and it seems like it's detrimental to veils. If we could find whatever the serpentine engine is, that would be great. And we've got the magician now. We've got the genial magician. I think he actually has something to do over in Venderbite. I feel like I remember his name coming up there. So, I suppose it's the correct decision to go there next. We'll stop off at Hunter's Keep, that's the one, to talk to the sisters again. We've lost Storm's attention, I believe, during one of our previous events. And maybe they'll give us some more supplies. I suppose we don't have quite enough room for them. If nothing else, they can cure a bit of our hunger. Oh dear. A hump of dark rocks swathed in mist, like 100 other Untersee islands. The grand house rises on the rock, a silhouette empty of lights. The uncut grass on the lawn bends, rises, bends again in the breeze. You smell damp stone and faintly blood. This is new. Go up to the house, crunch across the gravel up to the door. The brass of the door knocker is tarnished. The paint is beginning to peel in the salt sea air. No one answers, but the door is unlocked. Okay. Words in darkness. The hall is dark, the parlor too. There are signs of a disturbance here and there. A smashed cup and overturned piano stool, scratches on the walls. You bend to pick up a page of paper and hold it to the light. It is an unfinished poem. You think the handwriting might be Phoebe's. The absent moon, the gnawing hunger in the heart, the well, the sea, a great many crossings out. There are sounds from downstairs from the kitchen. You push open the door cautiously. Something clings to the ceiling. Something turns yellow eyes to you and hisses. What on earth has happened here? Why did it just fade out? What's just occurred? The maid. A quiet aisle, a grand old house. What is the maid? The thing in the kitchen. The yellow-eyed maid clings to to the ceiling like a lizard, fierce and wiry in her ragged uniform. Okay. The yellow-eyed maid clings to the ceiling like a lizard, fierce and wiry in her ragged uniform. She hisses furiously. When you advance a step, she scurries away to the far end of the room, still on the ceiling, weeping. At best, we only have basically a 40% chance of getting her with iron. The state of the house makes me inclined to do this. Rather than to try to coax her down. She does seem cognizant, but she certainly has messed up the house. So I think I'm going to try to catch her. Hauled down. It's like trying to get a jaguar out of a tree. 3 of your crew are badly bitten, but at last you restrain her and she lies on the table, glaring and growling. What now? You try to question her. Those poor zailors, she spits. You realize that in all the time you spent in the Hunter's Keep, she had never spoken. The poor zailors. I didn't come here for this. Damn them to the well. With a serpentine wriggle, she's free of the net. She returns to the ceiling in one inhuman leap. You succeeded in an iron challenge. We've explored the silent house. Gained quite a bit of terror. Yeah, no kidding. So what? Okay. She got back up. Let's try to coax her down. The diet of domestic servants is a mystery to you. Of traumatized ceiling clinging maids who may not even be human, still less so. You offer her milk, bread, wine, ship's biscuits. She shakes her head and cries like a wounded fox. We're gaining terror. I want to try to get her down. It doesn't seem like this costs us anything for a failure. So let's do it again. Still a failure. Whoa. Hunters keep alight. Later you were certain that the fire began in the turret behind the house, but it spreads quickly. Zailors tumble choking from the door as the smoke billows out. The yellow-eyed maid leaps from a window and streaks across the lawn on all fours. Watch, it's all you can do. Oh no! The death of Hunter's Keep. Flames lick about the gables. The spine of the house breaks with a roar as the roof falls in. Sparks fly up towards the false stars so far above. The death of the house takes hours, but it is total. Only a cindered shell remains. What happened? Oh, how terrible. An occurrence. Your acquaintance Phoebe's fate quality is now lost in a fire. Did Phoebe die? What happened to the sisters? Have they escaped? Hunters Keep in ruin. The lawns are weedy meadows walked by in the wind. The gravel paths have sunk to the mud. The house is a jumble of charred stones and timbers. Pick over the ruins of the great house. Fungus and cavern vines are already reclaiming the masonry. Peace in the ruins. No one has come to reclaim Hunter's Keep. Despite its proximity to London, the place has an eerie reputation. It's difficult to see why today. The place is as peaceful as a folly in a park. The air is still far across the water. The lights of London glow. Oh no. I mean, I guess we've found an outlandish artifact and a memory of distant shores, but what a shame. I'm unwilling to leave. I want to keep looking at it. I guess we'll look. I'll say we'll look another 2 times. Wind, weeds, water, tumbled stones. The garden unwinding gently into disorder week on week. Nothing more. I don't think we'll find anything. Damn. I really enjoyed talking to the sisters. I wonder what happened. What a shame. Our terror has been upped quite a bit. I wonder what happened to the maid, what happened to the sisters. Man. Okay, let's go. Sighted a pirate steam pinnace. How much health do you have? Not much, but you have found me, and thus I shall fire upon you. Well, let's go scuttle her. Found some spider silk, that's nice. You can find spider silk in London, of course. There are troubles there with sorrow spider infestation, like anywhere in the Neath. But for the real quality, you need to go east to the Connate, or to the fang-bristling fastness of Saviour's Rocks. Hold on a moment. We've encountered Saviour's Rocks, haven't we? Saviour's Rocks. I swear that we'd come across Saviour's Rocks before. Perhaps not. Oh man, I'm really bummed out by that. I'm really sad about the sisters' fate. What happened to them? Did they escape? It seems like Phoebe has died. We couldn't figure out what happened to the nurse. Or to the maid, rather. Oh, man. Well, we'll dock at Venderbite, as cheery as that'll be. Perhaps we'll pick up the cook now. Oh, we can apparently sell our memories of distant shores, as well as our visions of the surface here. Man. Yeah, it's all our vision to the surface since we haven't had anywhere else to do with that. Vengeance of Jonah. Let's go to the restaurant here. We could satiate our hunger, but our hunger is not all that high. I think recruiting the cook is probably our best option here because that's our last officer slot we need. The bandage poissonnier. Avid enthusiasm. Avid enthusiasm. Ah, my captain, the things we will catch, that we will consume, that we will experience. We will discover the seventh sensation, you and I, the taste that one tastes with the heart. You there, sailor. Careful with your braising alembic. It's worth more than your wretched soul. Okay, we've got a cook. It gives us some hearts and some pages. It's a shame that we don't gain anything. Maybe that could make our hunger last longer, our supplies. Let's see what else there is to do in Venderbite. Could grab a glass of wine to reduce our terror. Could talk to the first curator. We're still on the mission hit from him to find the seven colors. We haven't found a single one, as far as I can tell. Beyond the gate, there's a sea more sunless. V marks violent when blood is shed in a spired place. Violent ink is employed for the most desperate treaties. I have a feeling that this refers to location that we visited when we were teleported to safety, King Eater's Castle, because that was sort of an area surrounded by peaks that we had to sacrifice to get out of because we had absolutely nothing but people. As for the others, not entirely sure. Cosmogon maybe is somewhere in the fungal area. Irigo maybe has something to do with the Iron Republic, considering we can't ever remember things happening there, or at least remember them regularly. Peligan is probably something we haven't found yet, which is probably some sort of very deep area of the Z. And Aposion has something to do with coral. Okay, well, we've gotten a cook. Could go grab a port report here. Might as well. Along the coast of the Untersee, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues enough to keep your contacts in London interested. So that's just the typical stuff. You know what? I need a glass of wine too after watching that the Sisters' Keep burn down. Let's lose some terror. Crew swagger carefully back to the ship, mustering what muted boasts they may. At least no one has been arrested or unexpectedly married. Okay. I don't want to check in with the curator in case he died. The first curator was super duper old, and we were kind of taking his last request to find all of the colors. But he may have died since that point. I think we'll just set off and we'll head back to our Guinea Pig and Rat Island. Hopefully they can cheer me up. Man, I am super bummed about that. I'm so bummed. Let's go head back out across the sea to Pigmote Isle. We'll have to head south a little bit. We'll keep our torch on here because we do have a bit of terror. Moody's Light. It's a lighthouse. Okay. Next to Demo Island. Oh, wow. We're still gaining terror despite the fact that we have our lamp on. Gaining at double rate, that is. A rock breaks the water like a surfacing Z-beast. No, it's a Z-beast. No, it's a rock. I suppose we'll swing by Demuse Island. I think we can get food here. We could get the crewmate, but sadly we're still full up. So the poor lady that wants to escape her life of fungal servitude is sort of stuck here for now. Everything is still expensive here. Go and compile another port report, since that is free. And we've got a 3 in 5 chance to successfully find some supplies for free. Will it take a day? It will not. I think we'll do that first. Unlucky, 5 terror. No. A fugue? Fudge of dread. The spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongues. When crewman begins to whimper, "Oh Christ," he says, "They've reached my heart. I think I'll be harvest yet. You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. We could do it one more time before we're at 50. This is the bandaged poissonniers thing. So let's talk to this fellow. Increase my hearts. We don't have Mutrasalt or a strange catch to dine with him. I want to know a little more about him. We know very little of him other than the fact that he is a cook from Venderbite who is bandaged. Well, we'll have tea with the fellow before we go searching for more food. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house looking over the fungal jungle. An expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the Gant pole where monsters swarm, about the seductions of the principles of coral. Interesting. That might be where the coral bit is talking about there in our for the color. The infestation at Featherhaven. He also has a load of Bulgus frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I have eaten so much of the stuff I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially towards you. It happens, you know, but one has to eat rather a lot of it first. Okay. Well, we've got at least a little bit more supply for free. I guess I gathered that on reflex. Some of the island's fungus good to eat, some is poisonous. We were fortunate we gained some supply, and we gained terror. Oh, I see, it brought us straight to this. There were no other options. Okay. We're at 6. I think I will buy, let's see, how much space do we have? I think I will buy 2 fuel. Because I do want to head distantly out after we reach the Rat and Guinea Pig Island. And that'll leave us with a single space to pick up something from there. So let's go to Pigmoat Isle. Leave our light off for now. So let's head a little bit south. I will turn the light on here so we can actually discover things. The Phosgene Bleaks. Looks like some sort of volcanic island area. Otherwise, starting to look as though there's not much here. But we have plenty of sea between us and where we're going. Which is about on our level. What is this? Crab cake. Right, that is the big island. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. Uh-oh. We enter the snares. There's a jellyfish. Because we're in the fog, it'll have much easier time attacking us than we will it. Uh-oh. Has it seen us? It has. Oh, is it attacking us? Yes, it is. Bob, weave. Okay. It stopped just short, luckily. And I think we should be able to reach Pigmoat Isle before it attacks again. There we go. We've now lost it for now. For now, we have lost it. Let's go dock at Saints Haven. Let's see how the guinea pigs are doing. Hail Murinia. The Neath's most adorable nation scurries around your legs. Scintillic harvesters drag heavy bags of the island's bounty to their silos. Industrious rodents work hard on towering edifices, some of them almost neck-high. Again, London will never believe a bloody word of it. Let's go grab our port report first. Fuel for the Admiral's fireplace. Captain Whiskers, the Admiralty calls you, so you've heard. At least they pay to laugh at your reports. Well, yeah. An island governed by rats and guinea pigs is a little bit of a tall tale. So. Wow, that is a lot of that. We can raise Pigmoat Isle civilization for better prices. So that's probably what this is. An aide runs over. Hairless advisor, you return to us. Praise the tide, we need your wisdom once again. Let's do it. A dilemma. A chill hangs over the chicken woods. The trees creak in the still air. The aide shivers. Do you feel it, hairless advisor? They say a monster lives out here, where even our light cannot reach. Our farmers refuse to tend their mushrooms until they can be sure of reaching them in safety, but we can find no trace of the beast. What can we do? We could raise it, or we could declare it a superstition. Well, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad option, but I also don't want to burn down their forest. Let's declare it a superstition. Best weapon against an irrational fear is a good distraction, a party perhaps. Comfort and company. The celebration takes the rodents' minds off of the shadowy threat. By the warmth of a good fire, the vague unknown is no longer something to squeak at or twitch their whiskers over. It may be more bravado than actual courage, but it's the kind that lasts even after the fire has burned down to charcoal. So we've succeeded. We've resolved the dilemma for better or for worse. We've gained 2 in spirit, which makes them now happy. Perfect. We've gained a little bit of fragment. Could ask for repairs, but for 135 echo, seems like a bit much. We are also at, well, not quite 2/3. We're a little bit over that. So maybe we'll call it good. No shops yet. We don't have... I guess we haven't raised their civilization quite yet. I think we will leave them to their machinations here. I want to check what's past Guider's Mourn, I think. Let's do that. We've got a fair amount of fuel. We've got a decent amount of food. Decent amount of supplies. Turn off our light here so as to prevent that from happening. Prevent our fuel from decreasing too fast. And we'll swerve around to the light here as well. I don't know if these lights light the way to new islands or something like that. I don't know if they're just random or if they are actually a path to somewhere. Stalagmites loom in the distance like cranes of wolf-stack docks, but vaster. Corsair's forest, our lookouts are watchful. Here we go, back to the Pirate Cove. And just in time, we've got a new something awaits you. The Mourn is a stalagmite, vast as a crag, and its foot has no safe harbors. The Corsair's citadel nestles halfway up. An intricate system of winches takes the strain, and your ship rises slowly from the Z. Her hull creaks in protest. Grizzled zailors groan and cling to stanchions. Higher, now the Untersee shimmers like glass below. Children clambering in crevices cheer and wave alarmingly. The winch motor slows, and you hang in a cradle next to a red-bowed pirate cutter. Oh, so this I didn't realize. I thought we had just gotten aboard an elevator, but it looks like our actual ship is being lifted up. How curious. Could try to gather some more intelligence. I don't know. Propagation guiders no more than 0. So I guess I don't have that. I wish I could see what that was. We could spend another evening at the Limpet, but that'll cost us 50 echo. I don't think... Well, I have a feeling it will not reduce terror enough to... It'll probably just do it by 5 at most. So let's explore. There's a surprising quantity of actual landscape on the Mourn. It's vertical, admittedly, but once you can find the beast paths and urchin roads, you can traverse it as you would a rocky moor, with an additional throat full of lurching terror. Glittering eye. Aha! You turn, there's a long, lank brown man at your shoulder. Listen, he says, I have a story for you. We can listen to him, we can leave. We can turn it around with our Tales of Terror and our Z story. I don't want to use up our Z story, but I would be perfectly happy with using up our Tales of Terror here. I wonder if it's an either or. In the off chance that it's not, let's listen to him. A rambling tale. His story has a wedding full of murders, a leafless forest, and a vast serpent which eats souls. The tale winds on and on like the serpent until you are lost in the dizzying toils of sinister ships and its glamorous corpses. You're not awake, he's gone, but not, it seems, before searching your pockets for small change. Okay, so we lost a little bit of money. But we gained another tale of terror to add to our collection. Man, do I wish that we could use that for something. I think we'll just try to get another port report. At worst, we lose a crewmate, but we have a few too many. And at best, we just get another port report that will be paid for plentifully. A dislike of spies. You and one of your more villainous-looking zailors join in a dice game. Villainous-looking, but you know for a fact that she tithes to charity and has a delightful singing voice. Your topic turns promisingly to pillage and ambush, but your Zailor is a little too forward with her questions. There's a scuffle and a stabbing. You escape, she does not. Oh no, we got our lovely, our charity-given singer stabbed. Now I feel bad. We lost crew, but I didn't want to lose that one. I wanted to lose one of the useless sailors. One of the ones that just lay on their hammock and don't do anything aboard. Oh, what a shame. Okay, well, we'll ship out then, I suppose. Supplies are excessively expensive. I think maybe we'll buy one. Buy one and we'll sail south from here. If we make it to... Let's see, what's the Carnelian coast? Something like that. I believe they have supplies for cheap. Let's see, what was the location? Port Carnelian, yes. They have supplies for 2 cheaper than at Fallen London. So if we do run low on supplies, we can get them there. Fuel's a little expensive, but we've got quite a few. So we'll just get the one here and sail out. Our poor Zailor. They had to humanize him. They had to give him a little backstory, and she was quite a lovely person, it seems. And we got her stabbed. Oh. I probably should have headed this way, but this will be fine too. Another restless night. We are going to ignore that so we can reduce our terror a little bit. We're a little higher than I'd want to be. We're at 67, I believe. Whoa, what is this? That's new. That's a big ship to our southwest. Discovered Regal Complexus. Is that an island? No, well it is, but it doesn't look like it's inhabited. The principles of coral. The corpse rainbow glow from beneath the waves echoes the false stars above. Curious. Oh, we went a little further than I thought. So, okay, so this is separated into zones then. The left and right areas here. We hear those voices that will not be drowned. This is the sea of voices. We are close to Polythreme, where nothing is truly dead. Shepherd's Wash, the salty hinterlands of London, home to hermits, nuns, and shadowy businesses. Okay, so... Shoot, we have to have the lights here. He's only 30. Okay, if he attempts to attack us, we can fight him off. Discovered Thornwell Croft and the Shepherd Isles. Is he chasing us? Doesn't seem like it. Perhaps he is. I think we'd be able to stay out of range, though, and assuming this has a dock of some sort, we'll be able to lose his aggro entirely. Discovered Fieldhaven. So it does. But where is the dock? Ah, there it is. Okay, Fieldhaven, let's see what you've got for us. Discovered Wolf's Rift. So let's check out what the Shepherd Isles are. Let's get out our handy-dandy seaboard economy here, in case we have access to shops. Sheep, lichen, and standing stones. Shepherd Isles. Course the bearded watchman tells you there are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, indeed, it's just the name of the gentleman that found the islands. Greybeards sitting in the village square nod solemnly. No sheep, one says, but plenty of tales. Ask us anything. So we have a picnic at the Standing Stones. The bearded villagers will sell you mutton stew and kefir, and stone bottles of cold, fresh spring water, and row you over to the stones. So that'll probably lose us a bit of terror, yep. It only costs 5 echo, that's nice. They can talk of the Standing Stones, the Three Graves, Thornwell Croft. What about that isle to the north, one that isn't bridged? The rest of the Z. Rest of the Z, the bearded watchman scoffs. Here's where you need to be. We don't talk about the rest of the Z. but a sniveling caitiff draws you aside. I got something for you, he promises, but I'll need some of that good stuff from London. A lot of that good stuff. Casks of mushroom wine, some supplies. I'm just having... Okay, so he just wants a cask of mushroom wine. And I guess a lot of just supplies. Retired monster hunter wants something to remember his glory days. In return, he will show you a secret graveyard populated by curious corpses in curious boxes. And we can get a Sooth and Cooper longbox for a hunting trophy. But that we do not have. Let's go grab a port report. In the bleak light of the false stars, surface roiling like a porridge pot, up with a roar of steam and a flash of fire. 3 widows swim in, tentacles, and then we saw his highness. There is rather a lot of this material. Interesting. Okay, so let's check the shops. Let's find our pencil here. Looks like they have just about average prices here. So we're at the Shepherd Isles. Looks like they sell fuel for the traditional 20 echoes. And sells for 1 everything standard. And same with supplies. Sell for 30. And are purchased for 5. Let's see, I think we'll have enough fuel to get everywhere. If I check Port Carnelian, fuel's 12. Okay, so Port Carnelian is basically a slightly different Fallen London. It still has very cheap prices for commodities. It just has a slightly different makeup of them. Let's go ask about... Well... Let's go ask about the Thornwell Croft. We've seen it, apparently, but it's not bridged, and that is a curiosity to me. That old devil called Light. We did have a bridge, but the ship of lights came through here once. Hull of shining brass, lamps like stars. All those damned on deck at once. Couldn't tell if they were laughing or screaming, plowed through the bridge and kept on going. Everyone who tries to rebuild it bursts into flames, so we don't try to rebuild it anymore. Wow. Ship of Lights. I wonder if that is referring to either the glowing folks from the Grand Geode or the Iron Republic. Judging by the flames, I'd probably say Iron Republic, as well as the fact that they seemed completely off their rocker. But then again, the people from the Grand Geode didn't exactly seem all there either. Though they seemed very civilized. They seemed overly civilized, I think. But yeah, let's keep searching. Let's keep adventuring out here. Nothing more can be gained from that. Wolf's Rift. So that looks like another deep Z spot. Westergren's Fire. And Flitterstone Isle. And a Jelly Shroom. We're kind of waddling through the undiscovered area of the map. Abbey's Rock and the Sisterhood. Interesting. Let's go dock here. Hopefully the Sisterhood won't be a... Ooh. The Grim Sisters' Lair. Here lies. Okay. The Grim Sisters aren't exactly a positive-sounding bunch. Abbey Rock, a black spit of an island, far from anywhere anyone would want to go. That's how the Sisterhood likes it. Here stands their fortress convent. There are bear traps that look friendlier than this. Wow. So we can trade supplies. Resources are limited on this bleak rock. The Sisterhood will pay a fair price for supplies, not a good price. 20 echoes, to be precise. So it'll be exactly even. We can give them news. We could offer them terror, but we don't have any hunting trophies. Or we can compile a port report, which I think may be the option to do. Just because it doesn't cost anything, and it's a port report. Unlikely to be eventful. As always, nothing is happening. The sisters watch us, we feel their eyes. The sea crashes on the rocks, withdraws. The fortress stands stolid as the last year of a century. The greatest peril you risk here is a certain purpleness of prose. Do they have a shop? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, certainly not a shipyard. We've lost our acquaintance with Phoebe. Oh, no. We still don't know what happened to Phoebe. Oh, I'm so bummed out by that. Okay. We could spend our news here. Sure. Let's go investigate this area a little more deeply. Brief attention. The muscular prioress, the abbess lieutenant, comes to the door to listen. She nods and makes notes. She pays particular attention to news of marsh beast predation and the traffic of the rooftops. In return, she offers a rather perfunctory blessing, but the blessing reassures your crew. Only 2 terror from that blessing. That's not great. Okay, well, we do know that the island is here, should we need it for anywhere. We're starting to get back to the area we know. We're getting a little closer back to civilization down by Port Carnelian, but we've got a fair amount of ocean to cross before we get to that point. And we've got lots of black in our map to our southwest to cross. Out at sea now, and boy, does there seem to be a lot of sea. A baked breeze rises, the improbable scent of stone from some distant desert. You're close to the salt lions. Yes, we are. We're a little south of them, actually. Is there nothing in this Z? The water is sluggish with hyphal threads. Oh my goodness, it's a big crab. Violet vegetable bulks break the surface mycelgia. Air trembles. Something of change. Yep. Okay. Let's take a look at him. Oh, he has a little more health than I wanted to deal with. Okay. Let's burn some speed here. Turn off our light and see if we can lose him. Hopefully our engines do not catch fire. Seems like they will not. Okay. I'm still hesitant about taking on any creature that's more than... basically, I'd say like 100 health. 100 health would be the maximum... Like 100, 150 health would be the maximum amount of health that I would be comfortable with taking on. Let's go visit the Uttershroom again. We'll at least gather a port report, if nothing else. We are running a bit low on fuel and supplies, but we're not far from Port Carnelian. Let's see if there are anything here we can do. Climb the fungal fiber ladders to its summits. Shaggy, suspicious villagers scratch a living here amidst endless clouds of spores and scurrying mobs of plant-animal hybrids. None of them ever leave. Monsters, one explains darkly. Z full of monsters. I assume they're talking about the large crab over there. We'd visit the village, trade honey, but we don't have any firkins of honey here. We'll gather the port report. Our Blummigan doesn't seem to want to come ashore. I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's changed this time. Yeah, your ever-present Blummigan is for once nowhere to be seen. The engine room is quiet. Your maps are exactly as you left them. Not one is defaced or crumpled into a ball. Finally, you spot the tip of a tendril poking out from under a pile of unwashed clothing. Your Blummigan indicates that under no circumstance whatsoever will it be emerging. What could be so bad about the udder shroom? Did the other mushrooms bully it? Yeah, so it seems like nothing has changed there. Let's go grab a port report. A slow survey. The villagers live a shabby but sufficient life. The udder shroom provides. They are secretive, taciturn, incurious. Ships rarely visit. Yeah, I guess let's go visit the village. Hospitable? Not exactly, but they usually don't chase you off with sticks, and they'll usually let you sit beside their mildew-smelling fire. A day of stories, the central contradiction of a shroomer existence. They hate the udder shroom, but they do anything to avoid leaving. Monsters. Today they're telling a story of how they came here. It features a shipwreck, a rain of orange jewels, the mother's blessing. There's a great deal about adversity and survival, and wistful hints about their homeland somewhere to the west. Well, yeah, there's nothing else we can do here. What is to the west of here? The Iron Republic, I guess. Honestly, if I'd come from the Iron Republic, I probably would have been a little unwilling to leave as well, because the Iron Republic is a wild, wild place. We're going to travel with our light off until we hit a little further east here. We're going to just hug this area, and then we'll try to hit Port Carnelian, hopefully before we run out of fuel, because we do not have a whole lot of it. Yep, that is an unidentified type of ship. Haven't seen that one before. A Khanate ship. Okay, let's turn that off and see if we can sneak by him, I suppose. So this must be close to where the Khanate is, then. Okay, is he still searching for us? Can he see us? Doesn't look like it. And we're seeing dust and sands from somewhere? Home. Warmly lit windows. Company peace. Thoughts of home come at the strangest times. The Carnelian coast. Far to the south, Neath roof glimmers above the mountain of light. Okay, so wow, we're not up against the shore, but there's a whole lot of dust of some kind. The killing wax wind blows from the south. Engines labor, zailors cry out and fall. So what's this stuff? Is this hurting us in some way? I think it's slowing our progress, that's to be sure. I really want to see what's down here, though. I want to hit the southern shore to see if there's any more islands. Or rather, any more cities. Yep, there we go. We've broken out of that. Okay, well, looks like it's just Port Carnelian. We'll dock up there. Considering the prices are so well, we might as well consider this a visit back to fallen London. Considering how many supplies and fuel we can get. It'll just be a slightly different price breakup. But we are low on both. So let's dock back up. Fallen London's sole imperial possession, treasure it. Can visit the China shop to reduce some of our terror, of which there's quite a bit. Talk to the Heart's Cross House, where the governor administers this distant fleck of Her Majesty's empire. We talked to a tiger in the Blue Bazaar last time. Called a room above a bookshop. The diplomats of the Khanate were expelled from Port Carnelian following the Galatea incident. Only one remains behind, not in any official capacity. We could pan for sapphires, which is only a 1 in 4 chance. Or insinuate an agent, but we don't have a diplomatic agent, I don't believe. Nor do we have any affairs in Port Carnelian. Perhaps we want to talk to the diplomats here from the Khanate. Our passenger's last location that he wished to go was the Khanate. And I believe it was shoot. Objectives? Yes, probably. Where on Earth was that? Search here. I know that he wished to get delivered to somewhere in the Khanate. I can't quite remember exactly where that was, but it is one of our tasks. And we'll see if he murders somebody there as well, I suppose. We do need to find a healing for our contact at the docks, the blind bruiser. His master does need to be healed. I can't quite remember how he needs to be healed. I suppose I've forgotten to write down most of the requests that we've been picking up. But boy, do we have the economy listed down. Let me tell you that. I think this time we will talk to the Khanate. Off the record. No, I'm retired now, he tells you cheerfully. His crockery is white as the moon and rimmed with gold. Over tea, he comments sympathetically on the governor's difficulties. I feel for the man, I really do. And asks probing questions regarding your travels. You managed to squeeze in a few of your own. Oh, the Khan is very fond of sapphires. Blue is his favorite color. And we have a port report. Interesting. So we do get a port report from each of those individuals. We just get probably a different one depending on who we talk to, because we talk to the tiger, who was fairly happy. We talked to this guy who was retired and decently happy, who gave us some information on the governor. And presumably the governor would also have a different take on everything. We could pan for sapphires. We don't have something awaits you to do it, so I don't know if that's required to get anything. Ah, the sapphire exchange. So we get a casket of sapphires. Let's top off our fuel first. Well, shoot. We've got a lot of terror. We have got a whole lot of terror. I was considering going to the Khanate. Just trying to set off to the east here, since it seems like we're in the Khanate's waters. But I think that instead, we'll buy enough supplies to make it back to Fallen London. So I think 4 fuel. And we'll buy a few supplies, actually. We'll buy as many supplies as possible, because supplies are very cheap here as compared to in London. I think 12, yes. And so we'll use this fuel to make it back to the Iron Republic, where we can fill up on some more fuel for cheap. Yes. Yes, that is our goal here. And before we leave, let's go pan for some sapphires. A glimmer of truth, braving the jungle's violet spore drifts, you find a narrow stream. You kneel among the red-capped agarics that spot its banks. It doesn't heave with sapphires, as the story promised, but an afternoon's panning yields a pocket full of glittering shards. Oh, and apparently that was an iron challenge, which gave us 40 echo, so that offset a bit of the price that we paid for all the food. Well, let's set off back to London, I think. We can leave that off since we know the area. Oh my goodness, what is that? Quickly? Uh-oh. Oh, he knows I'm here. Behy mustache. Okay, leave me alone. Do not eat me, please. Oh my goodness, 16 damage. He does a whole lot. I don't want to speed because I'm afraid... Ah, no, we got to do it. we've got to pick up... I suppose we could stop at the Grand Geode. I think we'll have enough fuel to hit there and then the Iron Republic. Is he still following us? It seems so. Came on deck to find the metal sharp with sparks. Ozonal coronas haunt the ship. This is Dawn's Edge. Yes, it is. Okay. Our fear is building up quite high. My glittering ship is still there. Let's go dock at the Grand Geode. Nothing to purchase or sell. We could talk to the fellow. I think that actually reduces our terror just a wee bit. Let's grab the port report first. I don't know what an element of dawn is, but I think we needed to have been friendly with the Grand Geode cult to do that. Take discreet notes. The Marines are watching, so for our port report. So let's go talk to our fellow over there. Oh, we've hit 100 terror. Hold on a moment. A blank space in your memory. You saw the Commodore, and then there was something bright. You discussed matters of importance. You're certain of it. Teasing clues linger in your memory. A zailor asked to stay behind, and you permitted it because it'll all become clear later. Okay, that I did not expect. I thought we were just going to get a little bit of terror removed, because that's what happened last time. Now we have another extraordinary implication. We've lost our crew, and we are at a full 100 out of 100 terror. The light, it's pretty. Yeah. Okay. I have never been at 100 terror before. This is going to be a trip back, that's for certain, because we have to stop at the Iron Republic. I don't think we'll be able to make it back with just 3 fuel all the way from here to Fallen London. Shoot. Well, this may be the end of us. Mutiny, fear, and despair have destroyed the loyalty of your crew. Half of those who remain have taken up arms against you. They've taken shelter in the bridge while their shots ring out about you. Yeah. 1 in 5. We've been lucky for too long. I suppose it had to happen eventually. We'll see. Treachery and despair. You take cover with your loyalists and hold them at bay as long as you can. One by one, you run out of ammunition. When they storm the bridge, you fight them hand to hand with no avail. One of them smashes you through the glass to the bridge windows. You tumble to the deck as they shout in a desperate victory and land with a final crunch. You and all your crew are gone. London will speculate in vain as to how you might have met your end. Into darkness you will be mourned. And we didn't give anything to our heir. Blast. Suppose it had to happen eventually. Into darkness you will be mourned. A bleak dawn. It's over for now, but you now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Your first captain has died. Don't worry. These things happen. Explore boldly with your next captain. Choose a legacy to preserve something for your next captain. Well, shoot. So we've got a few options here. We had Veils for most of that. Veils was was Reginald's primary challenge. If we are his rival, we can retain 50% of their iron value and 1 weapon. We had actually upgraded our weapon on our ship. So I think we'll pick their rival. We'll go for... Yeah, this was the only weapon that we had. But that was also the only upgraded bit of our ship that we had. Could retain the mirror's value. We didn't really have that much of it. Same with everything except for veils, really. Retain 50% of their heart's value in one officer. Retain 50% of their page's value and their chart. I believe this is the map of the ocean. We did have a decent amount of money, but we also didn't have a ton of it. And I don't really want to do a Veils playthrough again. We kind of did that the first round. So we will be their rival. Keep that weapon. No chart. We've got a starting wealth of 50 echoes. Man, are we broke. Let's accept the legacy. Well, we reached the start again. So let us decide on our past. I guess we'll get the little bit of background here for those who joined recently. Captain's making 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Untersee. So let's go check our past out. Let's decide who we were and what we want to be. We now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Previously, we were a street urchin. That was our rival, the captain before us. Now you're a captain, now you belong to the Untersee, but who were you before? We were not a street urchin. I don't think we'll be a poet. I think we will continue to hold to iron, considering we've got a very nice weapon now. We started off with one. So we were a veteran of the campaign of 68. You fought in the invasion of hell. London's armies lost. You survived. Your loot and your pension have bought you a command. Gives you a bonus to iron, which is very important for fighting. And quite a bit of skill as well. So we'll be a bit of a bruiser in this one. Oh, and we've got a cook. And he's exactly the same sprite as the old man who occasionally robs us blind in... I think that was Garter... in the Pirate Cove. Whatever that Pirate Cove was named. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I think Corsair's Forest. Okay, stern and exacting. They will not trifle with you. You promise to do a job to your acquaintance, the shady cook. He'll do until you find someone less disgusting. Talk to him to find out why he went to sea. Do you retain anything? So yes, we chose our rival, a rival path. We were the rival of our former captain, which means we retained 50% of their iron because it wasn't over 25. We didn't retain anything. But I kind of wanted to do an iron playthrough anyway. And then we also retained the weapon on his ship, which was the only part of our ship that we had upgraded. We got a better deck cannon, so we retained that. We could have gone with one of the other paths. If that were the case, we would have gotten different things. We would, some of them give us veils, bonus to the stats, basically, all 5 of them. And then some of them would have given us half of our money. Some of them would have given us an officer, one of the officers from the captain. And I think one of them gave us the chart of the map. So the map of the Z that we'd explored. I think now the Z actually reshuffles, so it may look a little different to what we found before. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think that is how that works. So, we were a weary soldier, now we're a Z captain. We've gained some echo, we've gained our iron and our shady cook, and we've got another folk looking for passage. So, we can now choose an ambition. Wealth. That was I believe wealth was the one that we looked towards before. We were looking to be wealthy. We could go to try to find your father's bones. Your father was lost at Z. You never knew him, but you've often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. That might be it. Or we could do fulfillment. Gather 100 tales, learn all you can of the Z, write a masterpiece, retire. Eventually, we will be able to find the ambition to create a private kingdom, establish a colony where you are absolute ruler, a utopia, perhaps. I wonder what that would have been. I wonder if that would have been the rat island, the rat and guinea pig island that we found, if we'd survived. Interesting. I think I'll go for something simple. I think I'll go for your father's bones. We're just going to try and find our father, whom was lost at sea. Full fathom 5, find where he fell and bring him home. We can get our title, whom we would be called. My lord, my lady, captain, sir, or madame. Madam, we could do that. What the heck? We were a female captain in the army. No, my lady. Ah, I see. I feel like. No, you're still male. You're a male, madam. Yes, we've loved the very poofy skirts. I don't want to do my lady though. I think I'll stick with madam because my lady does not feel like somebody who is soldiering on and who is trying to find their father. So we'll go with madame. More Z captains choose this than you might expect. Madame it is. Welcome aboard. Okay. Anything else? Alrighty. We are madam. Let's pick a profile picture to suit us. Let's see. More than you might expect implies that there are a decent amount of madams. Yeah, I don't doubt it, actually. Boy, was Victorian London a weird place, and I don't expect the Untersee to have changed much of that. So let's go for a very madamly looking portrait. I think this one fits perfectly. The hint of a mustache, our very soldierly pipe. I think this one is going to fit for us. And what should be our name? What is a good soldierly name? We had Reginald the street urchin. Let's see. Any suggestions? I'm thinking we should pick something... Sir Helga? Oh, I love that. Let's go with Helga. We have Helga. The former soldier turned Z captain. Madam Sir Helga. I see. Sadly, our name is just Helga, but in our head, we will command them as Sir. Your father's bones, a cold trail. Your father lost at Z so very long ago. The trail was cold, but now you have a lead. The dark spectacled Admiral. 1 week ago, the Admiral grew too incautious after one brandy too many in the Parthenaeum Club. He made references to your father's deplorable end and expressed his regret that he had not prevented it. You are not a member of the Parthenaeum. Just the Parthenaeum, but their head waiter once served in your regiment. Interesting. The Admiralty. You meet your friend, the head waiter, and learn that the Admiral has not returned since. Perhaps he regrets his outspokenness. You'll have to find him in his lair at the Admiralty. So we'll in talking to the Admiralty, we will actually have a little bit more. These are new options. Your father's bones. The next step, do you have your contact wants? The Labyrinth of Tigers. Okay. I don't want to get too far into this. I do want to leave this. It is the end of our stream session right now. And I do want to leave this for the next time. I think it should have saved our character creation at least. So I'm going to call it good here. I know it usually saves when we dock, but since we haven't left shore yet, I think it'll save here. I will be back on Thursday, and we will start our new journey of Madam Sir Helga. and the ex-soldier looking for his father's bones. All right. It was a good stream, everybody. Thank you for joining in. See you Thursday if you want more of Sunless Sea content. If not, I will see you tomorrow for SevTech Aegis content, some Minecraft mod pack content, if you'd like to join there. Either way, I hope to see you again. All right. Cheers, everybody.